Welcome to my channel. Back with another movie recap. This is fantasy, mystery, and science fiction genre movie and it has 6.9 IMDb rating. The name of the movie is Triangle and release year is 2009. The film is about 5 friends set sail and their yacht is overturned by a strange and sudden storm. A mysterious ship arrives to rescue them, someone is intent on hunting them down, one by one. And Jess unknowingly holds the key to end the terror. I hope you enjoy watching my recap, and as quick reminder, this video contains spoilers. Just as Jess and her pal Greg are getting ready to take their autistic son Tommy on a sailing excursion, the doorbell rings, but no one answers. Without Tommy, who she says is at his special needs school, Jess goes to a Florida harbor and, with the help of Greg's deckhand Victor, his couple friends Sally and Downey, as well as Heather, a friend of Sally's, boards Greg's yacht. A woman's desperate cries for aid reach Greg as he phones the Coast Guard in preparation for an impending storm at sea. Before the lady can give her location, she claims someone is murdering everybody. As a result of the storm, the boat goes overboard, and Heather is carried away by the waves. When the storm passes, the others go on board the capsized boat. Just as the ship sails by, the survivors climb aboard. The dining room is stocked with fresh food, and it seems abandoned, even though they caught a glimpse of a figure on the bridge willfully disregarding their screams for assistance. While exploring the ship, Jess has a déjà vu moment. Near a display case honoring the ship's namesake, Aeolus, they discover Jess's keys. Jess notices that someone is observing them, prompting Victor to pursue. Greg claims it's simply the crew pulling a prank on them when she and him discover the words, "Go to theater," scribbled in blood on a mirror. The food has begun to spoil, so Jess goes back to the dining room. Victor attempts to murder Jess as she is covered in blood, but she manages to beat him off. After following the sound of gunshots, she finds Greg lifeless in a theater. According to Sally and Downey, Greg informed them that Jess shot him. As Jess draws her weapon, the masked gunman orders her to, "You have to kill them, it's the only way to get home," before he loses control and falls overboard. As she remains in the dark, she suddenly hears shouts and sees 2 sets of people boarding Greg's overturned boat. They recognize her as the previously invisible person. Another group of passengers gets on the vessel. After Jess loses her keys near the display case, she tries to yell out to Victor to stop chasing her, but he ends up impaling his head on a wall hook instead. Along with her own locket and a number of firearms, she discovers dozens of the shooter's clothing and a message in her own handwriting instructing her to murder them all upon boarding. By grabbing a shotgun, she plans to change the pattern, but the assailant, a third Jess going around in circles, kills Greg and Downey too and brutally wounds Sally too. The initial while pursuing Sally too, Jess overhears her transmit the distress signal that Greg's boat picked up. On a deck piled high with hundreds of Sally bodies, Jess closes in on her, and Sally passes away from her wound just as the second Jess kills the shooter Jess below them. Upon the deaths of all characters, Jess discovers that the cycle begins over when the capsized boat reappears, carrying with it a duplicate of herself and the others. Jess, in her desperation to end the loop, puts the first loop's mechanisms into action and disguises her face with a burlap sack. She orders her doppelganger to murder everyone after being disarmed on the front deck, and the second Jess sends the first one overboard. It is that exact morning that she wakes up washed onto the shore. Angry with Tommy for being autistic, her initial morning self screams at him abusively as she comes home and observes from outside her house. She murders her counterpart, bags her body, puts it in the trunk of the car, and leaves with Tommy after promising to improve. After a bird crashes into their windshield and dies, she finds a heap of corpses when she goes to throw it away. In her haste to escape the loop, Jess careens her car into a vehicle, but is still imprisoned. Dead at the scene is Tommy, who was killed on impact, and Jess's twin from the trunk. Afterwards, the genuine Jess stands at the accident site. The words, "Nothing can bring him back," are spoken by an onlooker as they observe Tommy. When a cab driver stops, Jess hops in to go to the harbor. She apparently hopes that by returning to Greg's boat and joining the others on the loop again, she would be able to bring her kid back. That was recap of Triangle. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed my recap, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to not miss videos like this.